Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching or listening to this presentation. My name is Gibson Yen, a student from the University of Birmingham Bootcamp. My area of study is primarily focused on the security aspect of Internet of Things devices. In today's presentation, I'm here to share my research on exploring vulnerabilities of IoT devices. In this presentation today, we will diverge into the complexities of IoT device vulnerability. This is a topic of immense importance in our increasingly interconnected world, and understanding these vulnerabilities can help us secure our devices better. I'm excited to share my findings with you all, and I hope it will provide valuable insights into how we can get the potential risk associated with IoT devices. Thank you again for your attention, and I look forward to an engaging discussion. We'll move on to the agenda for today. We'll start with an introduction to IoT device abilities, and then we'll look at the access to connected network, common vulnerability. We'll look at the specific vulnerabilities, infamous IoT hacks. We'll look at the examples of common IoT attacks that has happened over the years, and the strategies to minimize these risks. We'll also look at the role of legislation and standards which can help us to mitigate and secure IoT devices. And finally, we'll look at the importance of patching and the user awareness. Okay, moving to the next slide. Introduction to IoT device vulnerability. The Internet of Things, IoT, has revolutionized how we interact with the world around us, but it has also introduced new cybersecurity risks. Understanding and addressing the vulnerabilities of IoT devices is critical for ensuring the safety and continuity of operations for organizations that rely on these IoT devices. We'll look at real world examples such as the Mirai botnet attack and the remote hacking of a Jeep, highlights the potential risks and impacts of these. The next slide: access to connected network. IoT devices with weak security can be exploited by hackers to gain access to connected networks, leading to significant financial losses, operational disruption, and reputational damage. This is particularly concerning given the vast amount of user data collected by IoT devices, including personal information, location data, and usage habits. Common vulnerability. Many IoT devices are shipped with default passwords that users often fail to change, providing easy access for criminals. Additionally, the lack of encryption and weak security protocols make these devices easy targets for attackers. As you can see on the screen, we have the common vulnerabilities and what happens with these common vulnerabilities. Specific vulnerabilities. IoT devices may suffer from a range of specific vulnerabilities such as insecure default settings, lack of security update mechanisms, and the use of insecure or outdated components. These vulnerabilities can lead to privacy breaches and legal fines for violating regulations like GDPR and HIPAA. Yeah, so this can actually, you know, cause really damage in an organization or an individual. Uh, as you can see on the screen here, we have the infamous IoT attacks. And for example, the Mirai botnet attack in 2016 and the Jeep hack in 2015. Just two examples of how IoT devices, vulnerabilities can be exploited to cause widespread disruption. These incidents underscore the importance of strong passwords, regular firmware updates, and the security of medical IoT devices. Common IoT attacks. You can see on the screen here the common IoT attacks. IoT devices are susceptible to a variety of attacks, including DDoS attack, data theft, and ransomware attack. These attacks can have severe consequences, as seen in the massive DDoS attack executed by the Mara botnet. You can see on the screen the examples of the DDoS attack, and the common IoT attacks. Strategies to minimize the risk. I believe this is the most important aspect of our presentation, as you are saying, okay, all right, I understand the vulnerabilities and what can happen to me, but now how can I mitigate these risks? To protect against IoT vulnerabilities, it is essential to consider security early in the design process. Implement PKI and digital certificates, and ensure physical protection of devices. The IoT Security Improvement Act of 2020 and the guidelines established by NIST are steps in the right direction to improve IoT security. The role of legislation and standard. Registrations as the IoT Security Improvement Act of 2020 and California IoT security laws, along with standards developed by NIST, play a crucial role in enhancing IoT security. You can see on the screen here. And then finally, we have the key points summary. You can see on here on the screen, as running out of my time now. And then finally, conclusion. Key takeaways. Manufacturer, users, and regulatory bodies must work together to enhance the security of IoT. IoT devices offer convenience and innovation, but come with significant security vulnerabilities that can be exploited by cyber criminals. Manufacturers, users, and regulatory bodies must work together to enhance the security of these devices and protect against potential attacks. By implementing robust security measures, staying informed about vulnerabilities, and adhering to best practices, the risk associated with IoT devices can be mitigated. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. Bye bye for now. Bye.